Please subscribe.
In the exemplary vehicle world, Z autos are intensely hot. Intrigue is high, and there has been a flood in qualities in the course of the most recent 10 years, as children of post-war America and Gen-Xers, energized by their internal high schooler, are paying up for top quality, well-protected models. Original Datsun 240ZS, sold from 1970 to 1973, and twin-turbo Nissan 370Z models from the 1990s are driving the charge. Be that as it may, over a similar time span, enthusiasm for the ebb and flow Nissan 370Z has gone the other way, dropping like a Clayton Kershaw curveball, as both the general population and Nissan's chiefs have everything except disregarded the two-seater. The 370Z presently is in its 11th year of creation, and it hasn't changed much since it traded the 350Z for 2009. In the United States, where offers of games vehicles have eased back, Z deals dropped to only 4,614 units in 2017. So far this year they're down once more, by about 25%. The 370Z is presently the automaker's second most minimal volume model, pursued distinctly by the GTR, which likewise has abandoned any real changes for 10 years. A neighbor summed it up when he took one take a gander at this 2019 370Z in our carport and messaged me, "370Z? Who knew those are as yet being made? Past due for a revived state. Nissan is too bustling pushing rogues, I presume." Harsh. In any case, with the beginning cost just once again $30,000 and 332 strength under its hood, the back-wheel drive 370Z car isn't actually outdated. A year ago, trying to lift Intrigue, Nissan added the Heritage Edition to the alternatives rundown of the Z's top-selling base model. Roused by the ZAP bundle accessible on the 280Z in 1977, the $790 choice brings dark outside mirrors, sparkle dark outside illustrations, yellow sewing on the inside, and yellow cowhide highlights on the controlling wheel, shifter, and focus comfort. The Heritage Edition is offered in yellow, blue, or dark. With that bundle and a $140 set of floor angles, our blue test vehicle with a 6-speed manual transmission costs $31,805. That is $1,595, not exactly the beginning cost of a Mazda MX-5 Miata RF, which is littler and lighter, however packs just 155 steeds in its 2.0-liter inline 4. In any event, until the stouter, 181-horsepower motor touches base for 2019, solid 6 the V6-fueled 370Z smokes the Mazda in a straight line, hitting 60 miles per hour in 5.0 seconds and covering the quarter mile in 13.6 at 106 miles per hour. That is over a second snappier than the Mazda in the two tests, just as the Subaru BRZ. Extraordinarily, the 370Z quickens at the very same rate as the 300ZX Turbo we tried in August of 1991. Nissan's VQ arrangement of aluminum square, stock V6S has controlled the Z since 2002, and renditions of that motor have been utilized in everything from pickups to SUVs and vehicles. In the 370Z it uproots 3.7 liters, has 11.0:1 pressure proportion, and twists to 7,500 revolutions per minute. Power crests at 7,000, and it makes 270 pounds-to-feet of torque at 5,200 revolutions per minute. There's additionally a lot of torque ideal off inert, which makes the Z simple to drive around town. In case you're feeling sluggish, you can carry it through traffic in second or even third apparatus. The 6-speed is outfitted short with tight proportions, so the V6 never tumbles off its power band in the event that you don't need it to. Indeed, even out on the expressway at 80 miles per hour in sixth, the motor is revving at in excess of 3,000 revolutions per minute. Passing seldom requires a downshift. Shockingly, there's to an extreme degree an excess of vibration in the shifter and the grip pedal, particularly more than 4,500 revolutions per minute, which keeps the Z's powertrain from feeling like it was structured in this century. The shifter's stroke likewise is excessively overwhelming, and, similar to the grip, there's a rubbery quality to its activity. We presume Nissan endeavors to dial out a portion of the motor's sounds with messy elastic bushings. As an unmistakable difference to the high-exertion shifter is the Z's overboosted guiding, which feels as though it were lifted from a 1980s Cadillac DeVille. You can actually guide the Z with one finger. Like that of the Miata, just as the BRZ and the Porsche 911, the Nissan's tachometer is in the focal point of the measure group, right where it ought to be in a games vehicle. The 370Z additionally has an oil temperature check, which is surprising nowadays, and a move light that begins blazing red at 7,000 revolutions per minute. Its pedal situation is ideal for heel and toe downshifts. The inside is in a bad way together well, despite the fact that the seats could utilize somewhat more thigh support, and the base model is slight on highlights. Missing present-day civilities incorporate an infotainment screen and driver helps, for example, vulnerable side checking. Our vehicle likewise did not have the discretionary synchro rev match work, which matches motor revs for you on downshifts, was the principal such framework when it propelled on the 370Z for 2009, and is standard on upper trim levels. Equalization and grip. Z vehicles have been setting down elastic on Los Angeles' infamous Mulholland Highway for 5 decades. The twisty two-path, which associates Hollywood to the Pacific Ocean, was a road racer's heaven during the 1970s. It's as yet a decent spot to push a games vehicle. At 7/10 the Z can put a grin all over. The case, which is sustained with a 3-point front swagger pinnacle prop and a bar over the freight territory, feels strong, even over rough bits, and the Nissan's parity is directly in spite of having 55.2% of its 3,327 pounds over its front tires. Yet, push it harder and the 370Z begins to baffle. Abruptly the suspension, which can be rough on LA's solid roads, begins feeling flabby, and the Z goes nose overwhelming with a decent measure of understeer. With its short wheelbase, wide track, and amazed 18-inch summer tires, the Z ought to have more hold. At the track it created 0.89 grams around a 300-foot skid pad, that matches the presentation of the Miata RF, which weighs around 900 pounds less and rides on a lot littler elastic. Also, it's just marginally superior to the 0.87 grams that the 300ZX recorded in 1991. Considering the Headway's entire innovation alone in the course of the most recent 27 years, that is difficult to accept. When you're truly hustling, the Z's brake pedal activity likewise goes limp, feeling long and again overboosted. There's some blur, however insufficient to be an issue in any event until you take the vehicle to a circuit. At the test track, the 370Z ceased from 70 miles per hour in 180 feet, which is 9 feet longer than the Mazda. Once more, this is frustrating considering the Z's sticky Yokohama Advent Sports. The Nissan's open differential is another issue. Mood killer. The vehicle's dependability control framework and within back tire twists, leaving tight corners. On the off chance that you need a restricted slip differential in your Z and you do, Nissan makes you venture up to the $37.30 price of your 370Z Sport, which likewise brings greater brakes and 19-inch wheels. Supplanting the 370Z does not appear to be in Nissan's future item designs at any point in the near future. Apparently, work has not yet started on a 7th Z vehicle. Meanwhile, the hotly anticipated reintroduction of the Toyota Supra, created in association with BMW, is practically around the bend. Possibly my kindred Gen-Xers do have the correct thought. A Concur Condition 1996 300ZX twin-turbo can be had for the equivalent $32,000 as our test vehicle. Possibly less. Well,